Where do we even begin with this one? As you guys know, the Game Awards is coming up. It's going to be on December 12th. A lot of people have been greatly anticipating this one, as we do have some excellent JRPGs being nominated like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Metaphor Refantazio. There has been an unexpected nominee, and that is Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. Not a full game, but a DLC has been nominated for Game of the Year. And this has a ton of people incredibly upset because there is a massive debate on whether or not a DLC should be nominated Game of the Year. A lot of people also feel like this has been jammed in for the sake of giving Elden Ring Game of the Year twice. And so today I feel like we have to discuss, is it valid to give a DLC Game of the Year? Lots of thoughts on this. But before we get deep into it, I want to remind you guys that we are giving away another free game this month thanks to our sponsor, Instant Gaming. So just click the link in the description or pinned comment below and then smack that orange participate button and you are entered to win. In fact, funny enough, our last winner actually redeemed for Shadow of the Erdtree. Instant Gaming is an authorized code reseller, meaning that you can get codes cheaper here than you would on their usual storefronts. Like, for example, you can get a $100 PSN gift card for only 87 bucks. Be sure to check them out with a link in the description below. I'm just going to come out and say it. I absolutely do not believe that a DLC should be nominated for Game of the Year, and honestly, I think it is ridiculous. What does DLC stand for? Downloadable content. Content for what, you may ask? A game, a full game that has already released 2 years ago. And I want to say here, there is no questioning of Shadow of the Erdtree's quality. It deserves its Metacritic score. It deserves all the praise that it's gotten. I firmly believe that Elden Ring is one of the best video games ever made. There is no hate here on the DLC. There's no hate here on FromSoft or on Elden Ring. FromSoft makes some of the highest quality games in our industry, and I think they deserve praise and lavish, and it's all earned. But that is not the issue here. And furthermore, it's not like FromSoft did anything wrong here. So I don't think people should like really be angry at FromSoft for doing this, because FromSoft didn't do this. Keep in mind, they just made a product, and they made a really good one. So, you know, it's not them who people should be mad about. It's whoever decided to put a DLC for Game of the Year. Now, listen, I understand that DLCs can be massive, and Shadow of the Erdtree is massive. It is the size of what could be described as a full game, but at the same time, not a full game. It is something that you have to purchase 2022's Game of the Year in order to access, and not only that, you have to play a pretty substantial amount of that game before you can play it. It feels like this could have been a slot for many of the other great games that came out this year. Stellar Blade, Persona 3 Reload, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, the Silent Hill 2 remake. There are so many games that could have filled this slot. And with Elden Ring already winning Game of the Year 2022, again, Elden Ring, widely regarded as one of the greatest games of all time. The chances of it winning this award are not insignificant. Game of the Year should really be an opportunity to highlight new excellent works that are coming out, and not more content for a game that has literally already won the award. It's something that I just find to be incredibly senseless. And I want to clarify, you know, obviously, yes, I am a fan of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I am a fan of Metaphor Refantazio. These two games are awesome. I love them very much, and these are the two games that I'm rooting for. But I want to clarify, the reason I argue against this so hard is not because, you know, just the fact that I'm rooting for these two games to win. I just principally do not believe a DLC should be nominated for Game of the Year. It's something that's even embedded in the language. We describe a DLC as being a full game, but we don't describe it as being a full game. You would never hear someone describe a DLC as a new game, because the question, is this a trailer for a new DLC or a trailer for a new game? The fact that we can distinguish those two things, a new game, and a DLC, and the fact that we know those two things are different things, tells you exactly why a DLC should not win Game of the Year. It is by definition not a game, but a piece of content for a game. Listen, I don't believe that, like, you know, there is some type of bias in favor of like FromSoft, and like it's all like this big conspiracy that like people will say that FromSoft or Nintendo, whatever, wins every single time. I don't believe that the Game Awards are necessarily true in that way. I really do believe that the group of people that decided this really did sit down and say, hey, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree is one of the best gaming experiences that we had. So yeah, we are going to nominate it for Game of the Year. I really do believe that's what happened. I don't think that there was any sort of conspiracy behind it like a lot of people do. And that is a narrative that people always try to push. But my God, man, it really does not help the people that do think that those conspiracies are true whenever you have something like this going on. And I think one of my biggest concerns is how bad of a precedence this actually sets, that DLCs can win Game of the Year. So what happens when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out? Of course, it is going to win Game of the Year the year that it comes out. But then a year or 2 years later, it can come out with the GTA 6 DLC and it can win Game of the Year. So now we're just going to be pushing newer games that come out and deliver excellence off of the map in favor of more and more DLC. Do you guys see how bad of a precedence this sets? But I'll tell you one group of people that probably are going to love this. The people in the industry that have been trying to push you service games. Because honestly, this sets a precedence for service games to be able to win Game of the Year multiple times in a row. One game, one series could literally just keep pushing it through. I genuinely believe that we should be pushing for Game of the Year to be about rewarding games that are brand new packages that anyone can go and pick up, and that we should not let one game continuously win Game of the Year. Even if it does, you know, keep coming out with excellent expansions and excellent content, it kind of denies other games like a chance to shine, right? In particular, when going up against Elden Ring. Like, imagine if Baldur's Gate 3 came out with a massive DLC. Do you think anything would be able to compete with that? No, it would be instantly crushed. And that's what I fear is going to happen with this Shadow of the Erdtree nomination. Now, I know this is a very passionate argument. I want to reaffirm there's nothing against FromSoft, nothing against Elden Ring or Shadow of the Erdtree. I think it's all exceptional. But the problem is, there's not even a DLC of the Year award. There's no award, there's no nomination that can even happen to put this in. As commonplace as DLC is, the fact that we don't have a DLC award is honestly and quite frankly ridiculous. The closest thing that we have is Best Ongoing Game, and sometimes games with really good DLCs are nominated for that. But even then, that's kind of weird because you have service games like Final Fantasy XIV or Genshin that are competing with like a DLC, like a Phantom Liberty. Even that really does not make any sense to me. Guys, I am rooting for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm rooting for Metaphor Refantazio. Even if Astrobot wins it, I would still be happy. Balatro, Black Myth. At this point, it's now become more about I just don't want to see a DLC win. And I don't like to frame my thinking around I don't want to see another thing win, because it's just not like a very good mentality. But I feel like that's where this decision has pushed me. And I'm hoping, you know, again, my hopes go with Refantazio and Rebirth, because that is the type of games that we enjoy here on this channel. And I just think that it is such a shame that the benefit, you know, these games, all these games that were nominated, really losing to a DLC to just set the worst precedents in our industry, to just be such a backwards move. I am really hoping this isn't the case. I am hoping that this is the last time this happens. Go vote for the TGAs. Vote for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Vote for Metaphor Refantazio. That's my ask from you. I don't care which one of these two you vote for. Vote for him. I know some of you might vote for Wukong or Astrobot, but you're wrong. You should vote for Rebirth or Refantazio. I'm kidding. Vote for what you want. With all that being said, guys, let me know in the comments what you think about this decision to put a DLC for Game of the Year. Do you think this is right? Do you think that DLCs should be Game of the Year? Do you think that this is Elden Ring for some reason getting special treatment when other game developers, other games don't normally get this? Let me know your thoughts. Be sure to check out Instant Gaming, and I will see you all in the next video. Later, guys.